Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Thanks for returning and watching. Please like and subscribe if you do like the videos, and it helps me produce more. Okay then, without further ado, let's get into the first clip of this video. Okay, on this clip here, coming up to red lights, and we've got bus lane on the left, as I've highlighted. Pretty straightforward this is where we've got to keep an eye, as always, people around us and what they're probably up to. Now we're going to have a look at the back camera here. We've got this Skoda coming towards us, and as they're coming down the road they can't make their mind up left or right lane, so we've got our eyes peeled now. Indecision going on. They decide on the left hand side, which turns out to be basically the incorrect decision. They can't seem to see these big white lines on the road, whereas you saw by the front camera that is a bus lane only, and they've gone right into the bus lane, so obviously they didn't see the road markings. Just speed that camera up briefly, just so we can see the move off, just to clarify. So we're well aware of watching where these vehicles are going. They didn't get ahead of us as they're going away. They moved off through the bus lane and slotted in behind us, but we had to clock that and pay attention to that. Okay, on this clip here we're approaching what the notorious Mad Mile. Look at the two German cars on the left there. What great distance between them as they're slowing down for the red light. But look at this guy here, right up the back side of the second Mercedes, leaving no room at all really. So we know we've got good things to come from this particular gentleman, I have no doubt. So as we move off and we look to the forward camera and we go through the lights, there on the right is the first Mercedes, moving away smoothly, and the second one following behind there on the right, and there comes the little Fiesta. Now look how close they all are together there. So what does the car do behind on the right? What's the correct thing to do here? He thinks, I'm not going to do, fed up with this, let's undertake them. Let's can't get past to the right, so let's make a move on the left. And as he approaches the car in the front, he's then looking for a bit of space here between that Mercedes and his car in front. He does eventually get it, and then he moves over to the right, and he's not quite done yet. As he passes that car on the left, he then undertakes a further time. This weaving maneuver on the road is exceptionally dangerous and needs to be watched out for. Okay, in this clip here, a little bit of minor madness around us. These three vehicles here not really watching out for each other. The VW in the middle there goes on, and the Range Rover looks to pull over, and he's not seeing that white van's in his blind spot. The white van comes across, look how close that was. He didn't like it, he gave him a good old flash there. Didn't like that at all. Who do you think was in the wrong? Who should have been paying more attention? Bit of both really. Okay, what we're going to do now is look forward from this same section. Something rather interesting went on up front. Now the lights change a bit further ahead here, they go amber. Right at this point, which one of these vehicles, if all, stop for the lights as they change red there? Just the one. The others went through. Do anything wrong? Well, it's a close call I think. Could they have stopped? Possibly. This next clip takes place in the car park, parent and child. As we go really slowly here and we go around the corner, you'll see the parent coming from the left hand side, but you don't see the child. As we go around, my pupil is looking at that silver car up ahead and not at the people walking around, because I end up having to go hard on the brakes here. There comes the parent, there's the child. The child's not looking, but that is very young, not aware of the dangers yet, and nearly goes in front of our car. I stamp on the brakes, but she doesn't acknowledge us or say sorry, do nothing. She carries on with the child behind. But this other parent, having a close eye on her child as they walk in front. Two different concepts of parenting going on there. And as she walks away, she's still got the child walking behind. I know she's got her hands full and everything, but maybe the child walking in front would have been a better idea than behind. Now as we move forward, there's a guy coming down the road, and the lady on the right hand side. Now as we pass, they don't have anything to do with our car. They seem to have an issue with the car behind us, or at least that's the one they target. So if we have a look behind, just as we're moving off from that situation with the parents, and this lady comes from the left and she sort of kind of, I don't know if it's I'm coming across, stops the car, whatever, but she carries on going. She has the right way, the pedestrians do these days. But the car was going very slow anyway, and look at this guy here. He kind of had a good old stare at the car as if the car was doing something wrong, but it was certainly going slow enough. I didn't see any problem there at all, but obviously he did. Very odd. Okay, in this clip here, this is standard practice as we are teacher-learner. We have people who are impatient and can't wait. There they go, overtaking on a junction. No reason for it at all, of course. We weren't going too slow, we weren't holding them up, but they just didn't want to be behind a learner. They turn left up here, and what makes this particular clip a little bit more odd, as we're turning left here as well, we're just going to keep an eye on that car. As we turn into the road, you'll see them a little bit further down the road, and watch them closely, and what they're doing is they're turning the road and they're actually going to reverse into a driveway. So one might ask, what was the hurry to get past the learner? What was the hurry indeed? But this happens all too often, and we need to be careful, and we have to have a wit about us, as always. Okay, this clip here is about a bit of bullying on the road, on the learner car. Two lanes going to the left, one quite clearly one we're in to go to Richmond. This is where they changed, that one there says left only. Here's the car behind, the Kia on the right, wants to go to Richmond, believe it or not, but has gone in the left-hand lane. There they are, and if they want to go Richmond, they should be there. Look at the space behind us, they could have easily fouled in behind. They chose not to. What they chose to do was something quite different. So as we're going through the lights itself, you can see left only there they're coming through, and straight on where we are. And they indicate right there, right in front of our car, bearing in mind it is a wide angle lens, and push right in front of our car. Just as well, my learner had their wits about them, but we were talking about it on approach. As they were getting closer, we had a funny idea they were going to do that just the way the car was approaching. Got to have your wits about you. It's not very nice. They could have held back, they could have fouled in behind. They've still got their indicator on, look, so I don't know what they're doing in the car, but not particularly nice, that. Okay, yet another roundabout. It's the VW in front that we're actually looking at. Now it actually wants to take a second exit on the roundabout ahead. Now there's a big lorry on their right. They know the lorry's there, and if it's on the inside they also know where the lorry is going. Generally people that are in this lane here peel off left first exit. It's the easier thing to do and not go to the right. They do that normally when they want to push in. Now that car has got nowhere to go at all. It's now squashed in away from the lorry. I mean, what did they think was going to happen there exactly? If we have a look at the rear camera on approach, we get a slightly better idea of what's going on there as well. As you can see, there's no markings there as such, so they're not necessarily doing anything wrong, but they're not really paying appropriate attention. But that big lorry there, where do they think it was actually going to go? And so as we move on, you'll see the car now, the old Ros is coming around, and look, it's stuck there, can't go anywhere at all. Okay, this clip here is about merging after a set of traffic lights, and it's about a motorbike in particular, which caught my eye. As the cars go across, we actually go into one lane. Is this motorbike coming up on the right now? It swings right across between our car, gets very, very close indeed. If we have to brake hard there, then we're saying hello to that cyclist, probably from our back seat. Switching over from one side to the right like that, not a good idea, but as you can see, they're also a learner. So doing that behind a learner is a bit of a recipe for disaster, not a particularly good idea. Then they bomb off down the road. Now this clip here is just about a bit of impatience. We're going through the Kingston one-way system, always busy at the best of times. The vehicle behind us, all three of them, the van and two cars, don't want to wait. The van interested to go past us, pushes in front of that Mercedes, as does the car behind that. And we're not done yet. Here comes this car as well, straight through. We've got to be on our wits when that sort of things happens. That transaction was relatively smooth. But even as these vehicles carry on going around, notice, you know, that red car cut the corner there. That one at the back is still indicating to go across to the left lane. You know, it's all a bit of rush. Fortunately, they didn't get in the way of any other cars. Could have been a lot worse though, where that driving's concerned. Okay, finally in this clip here, Volvo behind us. Both lanes go to the left. They see us and think, all right, let's get around this learner. It seems to be instinct on the road these days to get around every time we see a learner. I'm just going to speed it up here as we're sitting at red lights, and then we can see how this pans out as the lights change, and then we move on. Now there it goes. Now as we go around, you need to see the front portion of this, as you can see. So there are the two lanes, and as we move off nice and smoothly, the Volvo comes around the outside and it just pinches the road. Look at the space we got there. We have to brake there a wee bit, let them go. We nearly hit the curb. Then as they go into our lane, look, they're in our lane. There's the first part of the indication. It's late, it's lazy driving, it's poor driving. Like I said, they didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but the fact is they had no respect for the learner of dealing with those lights and continuing on their journey as they bomb off down the road. Bit of a shame there really, but this happens and it's all too common an occurrence. Okay, dullard for me has got to be this guy in the white car here. It was quite dangerous driving down the Mad Mile, something we can totally do without, and he's got to take the crown for this week on the video. Okay guys, thank you for watching. It's very much appreciated. Please like and subscribe. It keeps me producing more videos, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care now. Bye bye for now.